Domestic violence affects every corner of North Carolina, urban, rural, and suburban. It impacts individuals of every identity. Its widespread nature reveals the urgent need for coordinated responses.
I think the big thing is everyone knows someone who has experienced domestic violence. It's probably been a situation where they're not comfortable talking about it because of the stigma. But considering the statistics, everyone knows someone. It's someone who's sitting next to you in church. It's someone who you're related to. It's a friend. It's a coworker. And in North Carolina, with our 100 counties, it is often difficult for survivors to find services as close as they need them to be. So it's incredibly important for domestic violence service providers, and the fact that domestic violence service providers even exist, to be just incredibly visible in communities so survivors are aware the services are there, that help is there.
Local domestic violence agencies are funded primarily by federal funds. Over the past 7 years, their federal funding has drastically decreased due to the federal funds not being adequately replenished. As a result of these huge cuts in funding, domestic violence advocates have had to adjust programming and resources despite the ever-increasing needs of survivors. Years of inconsistent and insufficient funding have deeply impacted North Carolina's domestic violence services. These have left critical gaps not just in services, but also in survivors' paths towards safety and healing. When funding is cut or fails to keep up with increasing demand, it's not just programs that are lost, but also the availability of staff and the ability to keep the lights on at the organizations that serve survivors in crisis.
I think the biggest thing is funding is safety. Funding allows survivors to come to shelter. Funding allows survivors to find longer-term housing. Funding allows programs to provide innovative services and also services that we've seen through research work and to try new things. Funding allows us to get survivors back and forth from court and doctor's appointments and all the places they need to go. And ultimately, all of that helps build safety. So funding is safety.
Well, when I looked at the funding cuts, I know that it will significantly impact the vital partnerships, that we have with other agencies, as well as North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence. And we do know that it would disrupt the safety net for one of the most underserved populations. And those are the ones that we target, which is military-connected women and veteran survivors for domestic violence. So this is where we see that they need to do us the justice, so we can continue to help them have justice.
Being an advocate means showing up again and again for people in crisis. It means offering calm when someone's world is in chaos. It means listening to stories of harm and sitting with pain and helping survivors to navigate systems that are confusing and unkind. It's meaningful work, but it's also quietly exhausting.
We lost 3 advocates at one point. We have lost access to legal services, therapeutic services. Housing services have been significantly diminished and impacted getting survivors out of their current situations or off the streets in some cases.
Our work changed significantly during the pandemic. Our advocacy center, in essence, all of the team, direct service team, crisis intervention team, we worked remote during that time. We had to change telephone systems to go to a voice over IP system so we would be able to access our phone lines wherever we were. That was the hard part, was being able to still engage with clients. I think the good part about it was we were able to reach more people. So we capitalized on being able to access and use social media and our website as a way to engage with the public and reach more people during that time. We definitely saw an increase in need for services. We also received a lot of support during COVID from a grant perspective. We got a lot of COVID relief funds that were able to help us, just kind of build out services, set up our environment so they were more conducive to sanitation guidelines during the time period. So that helped us, enhance accessibility within our facilities, and that was very, very helpful. Things that didn't work was the outreach, and we lost connection to donors during that time. We had limited donor engagement because in rural communities, we still operate from a premise of relationship. We want to see, we want to touch, we want to feel. And during that time, we lost, I think, a lot of support. So being remote and isolated, that part did not work for us because we couldn't get out and do the street outreach and the program engagement and community trainings that we wanted to do to keep people aware of what was happening. I think what did work is just us being able to build a stronger technological infrastructure that helped us been with the phone lines, with the increased presence on social media platforms where people were gathering lots of information. Those kinds of things did work well for us. We have been struggling budget-wise since COVID, since some of the COVID relief dollars have ceased. Since some of the federal and state budgets have been impacted by recent changes, we have seen a reduction in donors to try to get people to give. And because we don't have the funding to pay like an expert who knows about fundraising and grant writing and things like that, we have really struggled.
With how things are currently going, we're having to access a lot of creative ways to support people. And while funding cuts and funding changes have impacted us, I'm excited to see how we use that creativity and create new avenues to support survivors.
Well, we know that funding is limited, and so everyone is going to answer with funding. But I think the best thing that I would need to survive, and a lot of agencies would probably say the same thing, is the continued building of relationships with other community partners and making meaningful connections with our local government, our law enforcement, the agencies that are direct boots on the ground, actually working with individuals in crises and those in need, and trying to find ways that we can still prioritize support, although we are engaged in losing resources, losing funding, losing staffing, and having to deal with a lot of turnover and just uncertainties right now. So to thrive, I think just maintaining those meaningful connections that we are building. I started a coordinated community response team in Wilmington, and that was a collaboration of other partnerships working with violence prevention. And so as we all started being impacted by the funding changes, what we did is we shifted the mission of the coordinated community response team and making it more about how we could build and improve our partnerships to best support each other as we are adjusting to the funding cuts, the program changes, the program eliminations, and so forth.
I think one of the most important things the general public could ever do to help support the work is anytime you see domestic violence legislation, or if you follow the coalition or a local program or both on social media, you may see some calls to action. It means a lot for elected officials to hear from their constituents about what's important to them. So if you say, we stand with victims and survivors and we support this legislation, we live in your district, that means a lot to them.
I would say to an elected official is you were elected to be in a position to listen to your communities that you serve, to the constituents that actually voted to hold you in office. So you have the impact to make decisions that are going to positively uplift the community and the individuals and not tear them down. So please be mindful of the decisions that you're making.
If you want to get involved and support the people and programs that make safety possible for domestic violence survivors in North Carolina, visit our website at nccadv.org. From there, you can navigate to the Get Help page and find a local domestic violence service provider in your area. Reach out to your local agency to learn more about how to volunteer, donate, visit a thrift store, or take part in community efforts that strengthen our state's response to domestic violence. Your support helps ensure that advocates can continue serving survivors in need and that agency doors will remain open for every person seeking safety, healing, and hope.